All right.
Now it's
Okay, these guys are not helping you. Here, I'll give you a bit of lore. If you send your king or any king that you control to the Temple of Kings, you can try to get a gift. But it's very dangerous because you might fall asleep or you might die.
Yeah. Okay. So it's important to always have a buddy.
It's all important to always have a buddy.
Oh, are we doing lore from the last time we played, or from like the published magazine?
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Okay.
Well,
So I'm
not necessarily from the last time we played, because that's not meant to happen this time.
Yeah,
but unless it's like rules or setting
Okay,
related.
so I'm essentially a very classical Lich King. If you know what that is in most narratives, that's essentially the faction I'm playing.
Okay, that sounds good. Classical.
Classical.
I'll add that if you send your ambassador to the northernmost or southernmost hexes, brown hexes, you can try to recruit barbarians. And you could end up burned at the stake, or you could end up with a little barbarian army all to your own.
Cute. Yeah. They're very temperamental.
So, but I think we can start.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Who's number one?
I'm number one.
So the first thing that we do, again, for Richard's benefit, we'll just sort of go through the rules real quick, as we go. First thing we start with is a random event table. You roll 2d6, and we just consult the table. And there's another set of the rules over there. So,
have we established as high, better,
I think
low?
that's the 2024.
Well, I think, no, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Seven
it's
is
the one with the
telekinesis.
color page.
Yeah, you might prefer no event.
Right.
I don't know.
That's where the bell
I guess
curve
high is better, actually. High is better.
High is typically better.
I think high is typically better, yeah.
That's
six.
Oh, that's going to be replacements. Bring 2 eliminated regular units back into play. But
Nothing.
you don't have any.
I haven't lost anything.
So
It doesn't help you.
The next thing you do is you draw a diplomacy card.
Here's the diplomacy card.
You can play the diplomacy card as soon as you draw it, if needed. The diplomacy cards will either be some kind of bonus to an activation or inactivation roll, like black magic or
you use it
white
during
magic.
diplomacy phase.
Or it might be a special mercenary that you can enter as soon as you draw it, if you want.
Okay. All right.
You're the dwarves.
The dwarfs.
Where's your ambassador?
Okay, yeah. Actually, what we should do right now is we should, for the kingdoms that are not monarchs, or rather that are not player kingdoms.
You want to pull them off?
If they have ambassadors, no. But if they have ambassadors, we should pull those off.
Okay, pull the ambassador off. I don't see it.
And Richard, you're who? Shukasm? Okay, so you're good. Now you might not. Now look at the counter mix. We might not have pulled the Shukasm ambassador, so let's make sure that we have that.
Oh, okay.
I think you're probably right.
I don't think we have the Shukasm
Oh yeah,
ambassador.
there he is.
Yeah, so let's
Because
pull.
I don't think they
that's
came
Emmer.
into play.
Oh yeah.
So
right
where
there.
would you like
Oh, yeah,
to
sure.
put
Cuts
the
off.
ambassadors? I'm just going to put it
Oh,
next
and
to
here's
you.
my ambassador.
Yeah, they can just go. Or put them in the black tray there next to you.
I'm sorry, here's your ambassador. And here's
It goes here.
Good Newcastle, yeah.
Here's Ramboon. If you could just
6
put
is
that,
right here. Nope.
put that in the.
Oh,
Put this in
I
the.
found it.
Put this in the black box there.
You got it?
And I think otherwise we're good. How about the
Oh, here's the
trolls?
dwarven ambassador. Here's the dwarven ambassador.
Did we do the yellow? No, they didn't come.
dwarves.
They didn't get an
We
ambassador.
don't have Mutar. Yep.
Yeah,
Nope,
yeah.
they're not active. Okay, perfect. And the elves. Elves are in. I don't think he's under there.
No, we took him out.
We took him out. Okay, great. Perfect.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, where is my capital?
Right.
Is it this one?
Still. Yeah, that looks like it's that one. Yep.
Is this somebody's kingdom?
No,
Yep.
yeah.
It's
no.
got the crown.
Yeah, that's no, right?
That's the invisible.
Who's it? Yeah, that's me.
The
Yep.
invisible castle of the Eaters of Wisdom.
That's right.
Yeah.
Duh.
They're nomad wizards.
It's the invisible school.
Yeah, literally, they're nomad wizards at the magic castle.
Yeah.
Where's my ambassador?
Who are you?
The Eaters of Wisdom.
You're the. Oh, here's your ambassador.
Is he in there still? Because he was active, so he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be. Here he is.
Okay, thank you.
Somebody took him off. I don't know why.
Thank you. Oh, man.
I don't know who it was.
So he's cheating already.
I didn't see
So
it.
he's cheating already.
Yeah, I was the Eaters of Wisdom last time until I met my grisly end in the Temple of the King.
That's right.
That was funny.
Temple of the Kings.
You were hoping for a gift.
I was, but or yeah.
Just
Those are
anything.
the two options.
After a while, he was just hoping to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't. All right. So you drew your
Now, the
diplomacy card?
Enchanted Castle is one of your spells.
I know, but we just put them all out there.
Okay, all
We
right.
just put all the spells out there.
Put them all out.
You insist.
Well,
Great.
yeah. I mean,
Okay,
you're
so
right, but
You're the Eaters of Wisdom.
yeah.
I drew
all
my-
right, give me all the counters.
And he's a black hand. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I know. I think someone fixed the deck.
Not true. Not true. There you go.
We'll keep the ambassador and keep the.
Okay, there you go. That's what you got.
Very good.
And the castle is invisible.
This is everything, right?
Perfect.
Yep. And so you should have your your demon in the tower of Zards.
Yeah, I've got the ambassador. I've got the undead. The Colossus, I don't think goes in.
Nope.
Nope.
That's you.
This is me.
That's you.
That's me with the hand. Wings of Darkness, no. The Dead, no. And Vented Wraiths, no. So I think it's me.
Where's where's the demon?
I don't see it.
Huh. Okay, keep playing.
Okay.
All right, well, look at that.
Yeah. So it's those ones, and then my hand, 3 undead and an ambassador.
Okay, you're missing your demon. Oh man, have you already lost a counter?
Did it fall on the floor?
We'll find it, but just keep in mind
Keep an
there's
eye
a
on
demon
it.
there.
I just know that the demon exists. What's this? Oh,
That's
no.
the-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and
That's
put that
okay.
there though, just so we have something to remind us.
Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to roll.
Man.
Might be hiding under a stack somewhere.
What's this? Oh, no, that's somebody's number.
So what are you doing there, Dana? What are you gonna do?
So the next step. So I have my diplomacy card. The next step is to activate one of these inactive, possibly. Is that
if you want to, yep.
So
Or some barbarians.
Or you can just skip it and move.
with
or
so it's
you
the
can go-
ambassador time. So some barbarians.
Could you take those barbarians off the map? Just
Yep.
just take them off, yeah. Check and make sure there's no
Demon in here?
demon in there.
Because it should be black on both sides, it looks like.
Okay.
If it's similar to any of these.
Okay, I'm gonna look.
That's such a bother.
All right. So I. Is anybody pawn?
No one is pawn.
Pawn's nearby.
Pawn is
Good.
nearby.
But so are the elves over there,
Yes.
and nobody's the elves.
Nobody's
No one is the elves.
We don't know who that
There's some
went.
reference cards.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Sakasam, Eaters of Wisdom. You are Hothor? Hathor?
I'm
Hathor.
Hathor.
Hathior.
Yep.
Hathior. Alright. I am making up my mind here.
Take your time. Take your time.
Don't tell me that.
Reference.
No. Yeah. No, I don't. That's. Oh, actually, that might come in later.
Yeah.
Okay. Why not activate this? So, Hathior. Do, and Sakasam. Okay, maybe I will go with Pawn. Alright, so,
Okay, then try to activate pawn.
trying to activate Pawn.
What is their personality?
So you get to
Yep.
pick pawn and read its personality.
Pick Pawn. Pick Pawn is cowardly.
Oh, nice.
This monarch is noted for their incredible lack of valor. I can relate. So threats, you get a bonus if you make threats. So, yeah,
So you need to
If I
roll
were
a
to-
6
yeah.
and plus any diplomacy card that you have.
So I need to get
if any.
so I need to get a 6. So I need to get
That's
a, okay. So if I propose a diplomatic marriage,
Plus 1. You need to get a 5 or a 6.
so
Is that
No.
worth spending?
1/3
Yeah.
chance.
I don't
That
know.
Works.
I don't know if I'm gonna even. I think I'm just gonna keep my daughter.
Keep a card, yep.
Keep my daughter.
Keep
at
your
home.
daughter's hand. Yep.
But now everybody knows I have an available daughter. If you know anybody who's interested.
Keep that in mind.
Oh, they would have.
only
they
you
would've-
played the card!
I wish you would have brought his
Oh
daughter.
my god! Bring your daughter next
I
time!
would have been successful if I would have, or my son, or my. No.
Sorry, yeah, you're right.
My-
I'm not making any sense.
Whoever.
You're right. All right, now you get to move. Now the next phase is movement.
All right.
Actually, the next phase would be siege warfare, but there's no
Okay,
sieges.
so
just
my
get to move.
my ambassador's hanging out over here, right?
Yep.
All right.
So your ambassador's in pawn. Put your ambassador in pawn. Yep,
I
yep, you
did.
did.
He's
Yep, very
there.
good. And Richard, you can also try to deactivate an active. If he had activated pawn,
You could try to.
2 things. As soon as they're activated, they set up, but they don't move. They move next turn, and anyone could also try to deactivate it. To deactivate it, you need to roll a 7.
And so if I thought they were my enemy for some reason,
That's
I might
right,
want to
that's
deactivate.
right.
Yeah.
Well, they're all your enemy.
Rolling a 7 on a 6-sided dice.
There's no stacking allowed. Like there's
Hard.
rather
Challenging,
there's
yes.
no combined stacks. We're
Need
all
some
enemies, but we could cooperate.
non-Euclidean geometry there. Okay, so this is number 6 means they can move 6 spaces.
Yep.
Yep.
But there's terrain issues. But they're
That's right.
dwarves, and so they can go through mountains.
So what the mountain symbol means is that the mountains still cost 3, but they don't have to stop.
Okay. Otherwise, it'd just be one at a time.
Otherwise, it'd just be one at a time.
Yeah, I think it's the elves where it doesn't cost any extra. Because forests don't stop you.
And is
Right.
the same with hills with dwarves?
Hills would just cost 1. Like hills would just be
Okay.
just 1. Yep.
So I could be like 1, 2, 3,
No, this would be 3. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, 3, and they
Yeah,
could
1,
keep
2,
going
3.
4,
4.
and then 5.
So with the hills, it's not 4 or 5.
No, the hills
Nope.
are just
So hills is
one.
just nothing.
because they have the mountain symbol. If they didn't
Hills,
have the
no-
mountain
yeah.
symbol or then a normal unit that would cost 2.
Yeah. So I can go here,
Yep, and that's
but
4.
I can't get there because
That would be 7.
Yeah.
Yep. But you could go here.
That's what you want me to do, wouldn't it be?
I don't know.
Yeah, I want to do games.
And if there's multiple terrain in a hex, both factors count. They both add. They stack. They add. up.
What are people's thoughts on open discussion, real quick? Your monarch going with the troops or staying at home?
Oh, I'm sending them out.
Yeah.
They do you no
I'm
good
just gonna-
sitting in the castle.
Okay, I'm just gonna follow what Bill says.
Yeah, but don't use them.
Don't blindly send them to
Blindly.
a location where
Blindly.
they could die suddenly.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that'll fuck you up.
Right.
Or
right.
don't have them make under low odds attacks.
Unless you don't like playing the dwarves, in which case get them killed and pick a new monarch.
Pick a new faction.
Okay, so I move those guys there, those guys there.
That's
And-
it. That's all you're
That's
doing.
it.
Oh, what
it.
other movements do I have? What other guys?
Well,
Oh,
he can go a lot further.
Coward.
Oh no, but I'm just where am I gonna go?
Coward.
You could get all the way to the Wasted Dead.
Coward.
The field of the Wasted Dead.
that sounds nice. Let's go.
Yeah, but
let's
if
go
you're
to the
there,
Wasted Dead.
You know, if you're there, the Black Hand can't use that battlefield to summon things.
Like
So,
these.
so is the battlefield the icon or the name?
The icon.
I think it's the skull thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but
I mean,
He might attack you just to annoy you.
maybe
I
he's
could.
maybe he's just
I
you know
could.
well 1, 2, 3,
I could team up
4,
with Dana.
5.
Steamroll the rest of the
Okay,
board
I might do
with
that. You
you
Dana's
can totally get there. You can totally
with
get
Dana's
there.
help.
There you go. See, now you're playing the game.
I don't
Now
know if
you're
I'm
playing
gonna
the game.
trust the Lich Lord.
Yeah, you want to fuck him up.
Yeah. Why are we targeting me?
Because that's what happens, Aaron.
That's what happens,
I
That's
know,
what
but I'm
happens.
the player that accidentally let Dana win by giving him 75
That's true,
points.
that's true.
That's what happens.
That's what happens when
Strategically,
you're
am I the threat?
a zombie king.
Maybe you learned
People-
your lesson. Maybe you learned your lesson.
I could have. I could have spent like
Okay.
the last month mastering
And
strategy.
these guys are just gonna stay put.
And the way you earn victory points in this game is you either siege castles, which have an intrinsic defense, or you eliminate monarchs. Sieging a castle, the one key thing to remember is you have to have units on essentially separated, like across from each other, in order to issue a zone of siege.
It's not fully
And
surrounded.
if it's got a port, then you need a ship involved in that.
Are these
So I like the shirt.
including like would this be additional
Did we
defense?
start
That's right. That's right.
No.
And in a castle,
I don't
they can be
think so,
inside the castle or outside the castle. In either way,
think it was more
if they're inside the castle, they contribute to the defense. If
Learning.
they're outside the castle, then they have to be eliminated before the castle can be sieged.
Okay.
We can talk about more of that.
All right.
There you go.
So diplomacy's done. Troop movements are done.
That's it.
Combat, you're done.
No combat.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Second
Except
player.
one.
Oh my
Two.
god, second player. What?
All right.
No way.
What?
Roll random events.
Roll random
I'm
events.
gonna roll these 2 black dice.
There you
Okay.
go. That's the spirit.
Survive.
In this
Looking
tiny
there for
little
any-
tray.
Yeah, that's true.
6.
6.
All right.
Rolled in the drain.
Replacements, but you have nothing
Nothing.
eliminated. So.
Diplomacy. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Because, right, just to make sure that I have the correct units out, it's only me and the ambassador.
That's right.
Okay.
And the demon. So put some
And
kind
the
of counter
demon,
there.
the demon does stay there?
Yeah, the demon is there all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, the demon's there all the time. He has to be
Dispelled.
The demon has to be dispelled before your castle can be sieged.
All right. Okay.
I'm really sorry that I lost that counter.
They don't exist,
I know
right?
it's here somewhere. Yeah, they don't exist. Yep, trolls.
Wait, those are dwarves? Oh,
those are
trolls. They don't
trolls.
exist.
Those are trolls. Yep, those are trolls. They don't exist either.
I'm not gonna
Now,
take all
for
these.
non-active monarchs, kingdoms, your leader can always.
Move through.
Well, they can move through.
Oh, right.
They can stop at the border, ask for permission. We'll roll a die. If they get permission, they can move through freely. If they don't get permission, they can move through, but it makes it harder for you to activate them in the future.
Permanent -1.
Combat units. If a combat unit enters a neutral territory, that territory immediately activates and joins a random alliance. So we would just roll a
Is
die.
this a
and-
house rule or is this the rules?
No, it's in the rules.
Okay. So the first instance is if the monarch is with the combat unit, and the second is if the combat unit is by itself.
Right.
Okay.
No. Always a combat unit. Any combat unit. Like the monarch would have to go by themselves. if the monarch, if
Oh, okay. So
Right.
the monarch can cruise through by themselves and possibly not raise.
that's right.
concern,
That's right.
but
All
maybe-
right.
Well, this is the honor of monarchs. It's kind of a special rule. Rules of honor for campaigning specifically rule out any sieging of neutral castles. Now I know that means you could go in through it, but violating neutral kingdoms still invokes a diplomatic penalty as before. But sieging any neutral castle is strictly forbidden. Okay, so actually I misread that. Only monarchs can get permission, but combat units automatically incur the diplomatic penalty.
So you can
That's how
walk
it
through
works.
enemy territory.
So a leader could walk through, a monarch could walk through with permission. You got to roll for it, but a combat unit will never get permission.
Never get
Sorry,
permission.
I misread that.
And the monarch can't take combat units with them.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The exception would be Eaters of Wisdom are also a combat unit and a leader. It's a combined.
Yeah.
It's a combined.
I'm gonna send my ambassador to.
To Immer.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and
See what
tell us
happens.
what his personality is.
Oh, can you like mimic the personality? We have to guess what it is.
No, not in a million years, man. Neglectful.
Nice. Bunch of real winners.
This
These-
monarch cares little for military matters. The regulars of the kingdom are poorly fed and rarely paid. These regulars perform so badly that when they make up half or more of the engaged forces, one is subtracted from the combat die. Wow.
Penn State.
Okay. So.
All right, now you roll 2d6 for. Oh no, you already did that.
I haven't
Sorry,
rolled
sorry.
yet. Default
Sorry.
6. That's okay. Default 6.
Do you have plenty of diplomacy cards?
I'm not going to play that diplomacy.
Roll one die.
Oh no!
No, that fell. Roll.
Oh.
You want a high number.
Do I want? Do I want?
Do you want Emmer? Oh, I see. Maybe you don't.
No, roll on the table though. Roll on the table. You don't get to roll in the box. There you go, 2.
Geez, I gave you 3 chances.
You gotta.
I got 1, 2, and 3.
All right. So Immer is neglectful. All right,
I can
very
do
good.
movement.
Now you do movement. Yep.
I can't summon anything.
Well, no.
No, I can.
You can. So let's quickly go through the dead, or rather the.
Well, I'd have to go there most likely.
Okay, no, the dead.
Occupied.
The dead. The magical combat unit is true. The dead. This magical combat unit is placed in Zards when the Black Hand enters the game. So
There you
you
go.
should have 1 counter of dead with you already.
No. Isn't it that one?
Oh, the dead.
The dead.
Yes.
The dead. The dead. Actually. Okay. Yeah, it says the dead.
Yeah.
How many counters do you have of the dead?
Just the one, the dead.
Okay, that's
And then
them. That's
3
them. And the reason
undead.
I say it is because there's
they
a typo
should-
in the
there's an
rules,
image,
right?
yeah.
There's a typo in the rules showing the same counter for the dead and the undead.
Yep.
There's
Should've
the
been
wrong
this.
counter for the vented wraiths, the wrong counter for the wings of darkness,
They just
the
messed it
wrong
all up.
counter for the colossus. So it's all, they were really scared, and that's what the demon looks like. Oh, that's what it is. No. Sorry, that's what your counter should look like. So flip it over to show the demon. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right. That's
As a
what it is.
group, we're group stupid.
No. You blame the.
No, I'll own it.
All right. So
No,
the
you don't
dead.
need to.
Okay. So the undead is 3 units. The dead is 1 unit.
Singular
So
unit.
whichever one is just 1, that's
That's
the dead.
the dead.
We
Okay.
did it.
There
We
you go.
did it.
Got
We
it.
did it right.
So now the thing is, the dead. To rebuild the dead, the Black Hand must end its movement phase on a recent battlefield. You also should get all the recent battlefield counters
you go.
because when there's a battle, you have to place them.
Yeah, that's your job.
Okay, that's your job.
Okay.
I got it.
Can you handle
I
that?
think.
To rebuild the dead, end on a recent battlefield or in the Tower of Zards, and then you can rebuild the dead.
Okay.
Now, to build undead, you end on an ancient battlefield.
Which is where Dana is.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so you can't do that. That's how you messed them up. And then you
There's
go
no
there.
limit other than the available counters, so that
Which
would be
is
3. And then just the Colossus is assembled from recent battlefields.
Recent battlefields.
Okay, the
Being
Colossus is from recent battlefields. And then the other 2, the Vented Wraiths and the Wings of Darkness, are spells.
You just cast them.
Yeah.
You cast them, and essentially one means one terrorizes a stack of adjacent units and forces them to retreat, right? Which could be useful right now. And then the Wings of Darkness add 1 to your Let me think. What does it do? The Wings of Darkness frightens one adjacent stack of enemy units and adds 1 to the combat die roll. So if you were to... Yeah, anyway.
Okay,
So
if
those are the spells that are available to you.
if I wanted to, I could kind of scare Dana off that spot.
That's right.
Okay, which one is it? The scaring? The
That is the vented
Scared
raids.
dwarf.
All right, I'm gonna try to do that. What happens? Or
So
do I-
now
you gotta
I'll
be
tell you,
there.
before you do, I'll tell you what
What's
the
the
rules are. So the rules are the ability to stand is identical with the ability to retreat. So to stand, the dwarves would need to roll a 3, 4, 5, or 6.
What's the range of that spell?
Yeah.
It's got to be adjacent.
You got to be
Oh,
adjacent.
okay, well-
so
Sorry, yeah.
So movement phase, and then combat.
Yeah, so
phase.
first movement and then combat. Yep.
Does it have to be the one with the hand, the black hand?
Yeah, he has to cast the spell.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can
yeah.
move with both of them though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you bring your army.
And
along.
when armies move with a leader, they enjoy the leader's movement range and special abilities.
really
That's
high.
fantastic. And just to be clear, that cost you 3 into the mountains,
4.
and then another 4. Is that what it was?
No,
Actually,
it
no.
was-
It's a river. So rivers always add. No, rivers always
Add one.
add 2, cost 2.
'Cause
Or
it's
more
1
if there's
plus 1.
or more if there's a forest like this with hills and a river would cost 3. One,
Right.
2 for the river, 1 for the
All right,
hills.
so that's
Got
2.
it.
So
So
3,
that's
2, so that's 5.
That's 5.
Got it.
All right, vented wraiths.
No other
Combat.
movement.
No other movement.
Okay, so you have to decide if you want to stand or not. You don't have to not. You don't have to try to stand.
You could just retreat.
There's no reason not
Is
to.
it the Vented Wraiths or
and
Wings of Darkness?
now let me just. So the question is, and this is combat. So if you do retreat, he can advance after combat.
They don't look that scary. Okay, so what happens here?
So you first decide if you want to retreat or not. He's not. Or
Or if you want to stand or not.
okay.
I guess what does standing mean?
Standing means you stay where you are.
Oh, but yeah, I get that. But like,
It mean-
if I stand, what's the
You now have to
what's the
engage
negative
with-
then he
restriction?
gets to like if he had other units there, he could still potentially attack.
Yeah.
He can't cast any other spells, so he could attack with the 1 unit of the dead that he has, which would not be smart. But
So does he like roll or something? Then if he wins the roll, then I move away.
no, you roll. It's your
Okay.
roll. If you decide that you want to retreat,
Yeah.
then you can just retreat. If you decide that you want to stand, then you have to roll a 3 or higher on a d6 in order to stand.
Okay, and then if I roll to stand and I fail,
Then you retreat in any hex.
so I'm gonna
And he then can advance after combat.
And he gets what he wants.
And he gets what he wants.
You should stand.
I don't. Yeah. of course I
Okay,
can
well,
stand.
give it a try. Roll a d6.
Okay, what I need?
3 or more.
You'll
3 or
probably
more.
fail, but you should
Probably,
try
yeah,
to
no, that's the
stand.
story of my life.
You know,
6.
So you stand. Beautiful.
Dwarves
So-
are tough. Dwarves are tough.
So
Dwarves
that's
are
it.
tough.
Now the only rule on spells is you can't cast the same spell 2 turns in a row.
So here, give me
So
that counter.
put it on the yeah, exactly.
Alright, so you get it back here.
Okay. I can still do combat.
You can attack if you want
If
it.
you have any other combats.
I probably should.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Last time I did this, Dana got 75
So
points.
the way combat
It
works
could still happen
is,
that way.
you
Sauron
just
is like 4 buddies are just gonna run into combat.
the way combat works is you essentially do the combat odds. It's
Yep.
the larger over the smaller, minus 1.
4v2.
So 4v2.
Yep.
No.
It's leaders don't count. It's 3
Leader
versus
doesn't
1,
count.
Oh, so it's 3v1.
Yeah.
which is 3 to 1,
Which
which
would be-
is plus 2 to your roll.
Okay.
Right.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, you could roll 6. You could roll 1.
Is there any advantage to attacking over defending? Because
No.
I mean, am I just going to be attacking you on my turn?
I mean, you didn't have
There-
to do this. All I wanted to do,
There's
like, I just wanted to
there's-
move there.
I just want to hang on the dead.
Did you?
The battlefield.
Either
You
with
said
your
your-
peer
you said your
pressure.
wraiths after me.
There's a slight advantage to defending in that a larger defending force always gets a +1 at least regardless of the ratio.
Okay.
So
It's
what?
like
Does he
2
get
to
plus
3.
3?
But you would get a plus 2.
Oh, plus 2.
Yeah, but if 2 attack 3, then
That would be, you get plus 1, even though the odds are only 2 to 3.
like a 3 to 2 attack would just be even, but a 2 to 3 attack would be
Plus 1.
+1.
Okay, all right. Let's just see what happens. Let's do this.
What?
Yeah. Let's
Okay,
do
great.
this.
Good. I love
Okay,
it. I love
now
it.
the beauty is the Black Hand can always teleport
Yep.
back to its tower
When?
before combat.
Before combat.
Well, I mean, you have to decide. It doesn't matter because it's not a combat unit, but it'd be before combat, meaning if
It doesn't matter to the combat roll.
Get him, guys. I'll be
meaning
back.
negative,
It doesn't.
a negative result
No,
wouldn't
that's right.
require a
He
lead
did the right
effect
thing.
roll.
Now he's doing the right thing. Now you're playing this game.
Okay.
Oh!
Now roll that black die, and you roll your die at plus 2.
Do I have to roll it on the table?
Now, wait a second. No, wait a second. At this point, you've already driven the Black Hand away. You might want to just retreat
He
at this
can't.
point.
He stood.
He stood, so
He
now he
stood.
can't retreat in the
Can't
attack?
retreat.
Already.
Can't retreat.
Never mind what I was going to say.
Can't retreat. If you
Never
stand, you cannot retreat.
I did not understand the
You
spell.
made that choice based on my spell.
Yep. Well,
You
no.
chose this.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I mean, I chose
So
this.
I stood against the
I
spell.
chose.
Is that the same thing as standing against his army?
Against the attack.
Because it was
What does the rule say?
engaging.
What does
Yes, that's what the rules say.
the rule say
That's
that?
what I'm telling you.
Go ahead. I
Alright.
believe it. I
Hey,
believe
Dana,
it. Go ahead and roll the
let's
dice.
just
Go
see
ahead and
what
roll
we
the dice.
get.
Units
Go ahead and roll the dice.
units that
I'm not
stand
I'm not gonna
units
retreat.
that stand
Just-
in fact
I'm gonna go.
even however units that stand before the race may not attempt to retreat before combat.
There you go. There you
Okay.
go. That's great.
All right,
Okay,
let's-
so we're both
Stop
gonna roll.
cheating.
Yeah.
I get a +2.
Yes.
He gets a
Nothing.
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 Straight roll.
Jack
Nothing.
table
And
shit.
the highest wins.
Highest
Highest wins.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, they lose the
Roll over there
difference.
so we can get on.
Yeah,
top.
roll it right
No,
here.
no,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Right
roll
here.
the board.
Right here.
He dies.
That's the same thing that happened last time.
Yeah. Oh well.
And now, no leader fate roll is involved for you because you won. You did you
Cool.
didn't,
Yeah.
lose any troops. So you
Nothing.
didn't-
Literally nothing happened.
The
here.
dwarves.
I just
the
suffered
dwarves-
twice.
Wow, dwarves are tough.
All right. Who is player 3?
Who's playing
That's
3?
me.
All right, Richard.
Now you know how to play, right? You got it. You've seen two First thing you do is you roll 2d6 for a random.
Richard
There
2d6.
Here we go.
Wait, Richard, what's your faction?
He is Shukad.
Oh, Shukad. They're tough. They're tough to play.
Seven.
No
No
event. So now you draw a diplomacy card.
You did get the literal one event that is nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing happened.
Now it could be enter a special mercenary or something like that. There's absolutely no reason not to play it, but you can always hold on to it.
But
Otherwise, if it's
But you don't use it right now. You
if
use it
it's
during your diplomacy.
if it's
now.
if it's a +1 or a
Just right
+2
now.
of something, that means diplomacy. You can try to activate somebody. Alternatively, there's two other things you can. There's at least three other things you
Yeah,
can do.
many
Actually,
things you can do.
you can try to activate barbarians on the northern edge or southern edge of the map.
Unless it's got a territory.
Unless it's got a territory,
Yeah,
thank you.
gotta be one of provinces.
You can try to activate a country.
Monarch?
You can
Like
try to deactivate a monarch if there were any activated non-player monarchs, and you can try to duel an enemy ambassador, which is just a straight roll of the dice. Whoever rolls higher wins. If there's a tie, I forget what
you can try
happens.
to
We'll look it
assassinate
up.
a king.
Or you can try to assassinate an active player
Non-player,
monarch,
not-
which non-player monarch of which there are none, so you wouldn't be able to do that.
There you go.
So those are your choices.
Who do you want to be your ally? Is the choice that you're making right
So
now.
that would be sending the ambassador somewhere.
So take your ambassador and put it.
And
on
we
the
know that
capital.
pawn is
Must he depart
cowardly.
from the castle he's in or anywhere?
You
in my kingdom?
just place him. The ambassador, you can just place. You can just place him where he goes, and then he stays there. You can just place him where he goes. We know that the pawn king is cowardly, so if you have threats, you get a bonus. And we know that the Immer king is neglectful. So if their regulars are more than half of any combat, there's a minus to the roll.
So if he wanted barbarians, he could just send his guy to the border.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. Yep.
So I can move 7?
No. 7 was the random event table, and it said random events. A 7 result is no event.
Take your ambassador and put it on the kingdom
No event.
or the
Oh, I
edge of
think
the
I'm
map.
gonna choose one of my neighbors here.
Perfect.
there you go.
So you take
Do
your
it.
ambassador, you just move it to the capital of Ramboon, which I think is the
Ramboon.
Gulkis, actually. It'll be wherever the king is.
There you go.
Yeah, there's.
There you
Yep.
go.
And okay, so now you get to flip over the Ramboon card and tell us its personality. His or her.
Boom.
A
Hateful.
noble. A noble. A gallant monarch. Champions the underdog.
That's a good one.
As long as this monarch is non-allied, the alliance with the fewest members may add +1 to diplomatic die roll. If you're
Okay.
the largest alliance, must subtract 1.
It's all
Relatively good.
Yeah,
Well, if we're
neither
all
of
tied,
those.
so-
Yeah, it's
so
neither of
we're all
those. So
tied.
it's both. So it's neither.
Both donated.
Right.
Okay, great.
Yep. So there's no bonus. So
No bonus,
if
no
you have a
penalty.
card, you can play that card. Well, you don't have to play the card. You could play the card if it gives you a
want one.
bonus. Otherwise, you need a
Not if
6.
you're going for Emmer.
Need a 6 to activate them.
The second I flipped that card, I was like, nah, I want to roll.
I mean, this is
low.
It's a
I don't
plus.
want to punch
Crass
out pieces
bribe.
for the sucking
So that'll give you
faction.
+2. So instead of a 6,
Ooh.
you would need a 4 or better.
Nice.
But if you roll a 1 through 3, then you are temporarily banished from Rambu.
Oh,
But not other places.
But not other places, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Okay,
All right,
sounds
good. So you're playing that
Oh,
card?
wait.
Crass Brag. Whenever I think
Shouldn't
of
I put
Crass
one of
Brag, I
these
think of
out?
Richard.
Yeah.
Shouldn't I put a recent battlefield
Does that
out
count? If the dead or
Yes,
die?
yes,
So put
yes,
it
for
here.
sure. Yep, underneath.
underneath these?
5 active.
All right.
So we've activated them, or rather we've placed them because they were active last time. So they're already on the board. So their counters are placed. You'll see that there's again, this is true for all the countries. There's a castle counter with its intrinsic defense. There's a single fleet, 2 armies in Paros. These armies over here, armies here, and fleets. There's also a fleet and an army here. Oh yeah, and Shirkazm, which is right next to you. That's very smart. They don't move in the turn they're activated, but they are now yours.
All right.
And so you grab their card,
Yeah.
and you
I think
keep
that
it
he
in
would
front of you.
Okay.
Be a difficult teach, but if he got
Now
got
comes
it,
movement.
oh, he would be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be entertaining.
And it's I can move my army, army, king, or
Yep.
or the ambassador's not going to move because it's not diplomacy right now.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, and you can see their movement rate is 5 or 7 for the king. Anything moving with the king moves with 7. Shukasm has no special movement abilities. The lepers are interesting. The lepers, no one will stack with the lepers, but the lepers can force any stack that they're adjacent to retreat.
Okay.
Right? So if
You
you
could do 6.
were in combat with someone adjacent to the lepers, they would just automatically.
Can't
They would.
find anywhere
They
to
would.
hide it.
They
They
don't
would.
want to get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what about movement on the sea?
Moving on the sea, it's hex movement. You have ships. One ship can carry one. Oh, you have 2 ships. Sorry, one ship can carry one army counter. Any number of leaders, any number of artifacts. If we ever get to those. And the ships can travel up to the edge of the deep. This is interesting, right? Because this would not incur a penalty,
I
but
think I'd like
landing
to buy it
would.
if it gets published with
And
a slightly larger box.
So
that has
sea
the
movement
bottom.
just counts for 1.
sea movement just counts for
I
1.
would
Yeah,
go all in
yeah.
and
But
have
for
a full
ships,
map and then set up do a
Yeah,
table over it.
yeah. Troops have to be
and troops have to be
Because,
carried. You can move troops to a port.
talking about
I think
this
you can
game
even move
last
troops
time.
to a coast and get
Game
picked up.
Burning
I'll check
Banners
that if
is
that
very similar.
happens.
It's like a modern.
Now the
version.
thing is, you have no one to
People
attack.
on Saturday like.
Oh no, Hothiar, you're Hothiar, right? Oh yeah. So he's Hothiar, and you're Shukazam Ramboon.
Standard Burning Banners map
I
is
can
the whole
attack
table.
here.
You would have to move there and attack. Yep.
And then what are these?
These actually are another country, so we're gonna actually treat them as Ramboon for the purpose of this game. Okay, so for the purpose of this game, everyone, we're gonna treat these 5 hexes as Ramboon.
That's fair because
Okay.
we don't have the lower kingdoms.
We don't have the lower map, yeah. If they ever make it.
So
If it exists.
maybe I'll take a ship down, head south, and see how I do with the barbarians.
Okay, so the barbarians, you just send your ambassador, like your ambassador in their turn, they just are placed. Ambassadors don't move, they're just placed where you want them to do something. So there's no benefit for you taking any armies south. Now there are 2 special hexes that we should talk about. The first is the Altars of Greystaff. If you sacrifice a unit at the Altars of Greystaff, and you can sacrifice up to 2, there's a chance that you can do something cool, like an earthquake in a castle, or a firestorm, or a flood on a fleet at sea, stuff like that. So if you're interested in sacrificing a unit to do something, you can. And then the Temple of Kings, a monarch can go into the Temple of Kings, try to roll to get a gift.
Well, maybe I'll head down here and kill some
that
of my
wouldn't
folks.
be like that hard to do.
But I'll keep them alive. So I was thinking to take a ship. Can I leave my monarch behind?
You can.
Here.
Reminds me, I learned about.